Hello, this is Bug News, and today we're going to talk about uh, Wendy Acefo and Nika Aham. Um, but before we start out, we need to do like a little discussion about, I guess, excuse me, the I guess just some a little Nigerian um, information. Just because both of these women are Igbo, and then a lot of people don't understand. Uh, I guess Nigeria from a, I guess, a historical perspective, and Nigerians moving around the world because people say it's a Nigerian in every country. Um, so what many people don't know is that the ethnic group that Wendy Wendy and her um, co-worker share share or part of. Um, it's called Igbo tribe. So we're gonna just do a little brief history of Nigeria. Two videos. It's gonna be like a what do they call? It's gonna what do they call it? A commentary video, and we'll start there. Well, I think it's no more than 4 minutes each on each one, and we'll ask a few questions. All right. All right. Let's turn this up. Um, let's do this. Share screen. Share screen. Which one is it here? Hmm. Here we go. So this video was just
slavery. So the British forced.
Let me go back. This video is just a brief story. Unfortunately, I didn't pick a African reference. I picked a guy, I guess from a European reference, but it'll do the job.
This is Africa, and here's Nigeria. Now let's go, shall we? A patchwork of plateaus, savannas, forests, and mangrove swamps. The richly varied land of Nigeria has been, according.
And let's not just assume that Nigeria in modern time is some place that's not developed. Of course, they have cities and things like that.
To archaeologists, inhabited since Mesolithic times. The country's first great civilization was that of the Nok culture, situated in the nation's center. Metalsmiths of iron, farmers of grain, and, most famously, crafters of strikingly stylized terracotta sculptures. The purpose of these figures is a mystery, as is the strange disappearance of the Nok, who slipped from the historical record after about the year 200. As the centuries cascaded by, Nigeria would see the rise of many different states, housing the many different people groups that make up the country. In the southeast stood the kingdom of Nri, of the Igbo people. Up north.
Okay, so as you can see in the southeast on the water, stood the Igbo people.
Were the Hausa states that were enriched via trade with the Berbers of North Africa, through whom Islam was introduced in medieval.
So, from my understanding, Wendy and Nneka are both Christians, but I'm not too sure about Nneka. So, as you know, that uh, the Christians in the South, of course, due to Christianity and colonialism, and then the Muslims in the North, of course, due to the Arab coming over into Africa.
medieval times. Then there was the powerful Oyo Empire of the Yoruba people, which, aided by a skilled and well-organized army, conquered and expanded and attained its pinnacle of power in the 18th century. Meanwhile, in the southwest, the Edo people formed the Kingdom of Benin, not to be confused with the modern country of that name, which cultivated considerable power and traded with the Portuguese, who were exploring the African coast in the 15th century. In exchange for European goods such as firearms, Benin offered captured slaves who would be shipped off to the Americas to labor on plantations. Slavery also played a key role up north in the Sokoto Caliphate, which
Okay, so now you can hear the slavery influence and how the slave trade.
was established via jihad, or Islamic religious war, and would go on to become a great power, ruled by the Fula or Fulani people. In 1807, Britain outlawed the trading of slaves.
So Fulani people, very important.
And the Royal Navy dispatched the West Africa Squadron to help suppress and prevent the odious business. While Britain's intentions in this regard may have been admirable, they also facilitated its imperial ambitions. E.g., Lagos was a major port town, but its ruler was pro-slavery, so the British forcibly removed him and put an anti-slavery man in charge. Then, 10 years later, Britain simply took Lagos for themselves. British influence.
So Britain took Lagos for trade, for profit, probably early signs of oil.
Saw the rapid spread of Christianity in the region, and as early as the 1860s, there were Nigerian bishops of the Church of England. Today, the Christian faith dominates the south of Nigeria, while Islam dominates the north. Anyway, bit by...
And that's very important how he pointed out the, cultural structure of Muslims in the north and Christians in the south.
The British conquered the land, from subjugating the Sokoto Caliphate to crushing the Aro Confederacy. Thus, Nigeria became part of the British Empire, a chunk of territory smushing together scores of separate peoples and languages, with little in common except that one day they would all be considered Nigerian. What?
So that's pretty much famous throughout any world power. They just group everybody together and cause more problems, even though when they were separated, they have the similar problems.
While the Islamic North resisted change, the South saw increased modernization and westernization and a rising sense of nationalism that guided Nigeria to independence in 1960. Immediately, it was clear that governing a nation of, as we mentioned before, different smushed together ethnicities.
So here comes the important part of how we're going to come into modern times with Nigeria.
Was going to be complicated. After thousands of Southerners living up north were slaughtered by Northerners, the Igbo people of the southeast said, you know what, we'll just have our own country then, and established the breakaway state of Biafra. The rest of Nigeria said, oh.
So, a disclaimer. Okay, so now allegedly, we're saying that Nneka and Wendy are of the Igbo tribe, and of course they try to break away of what they say Biafra. Not them, but the Igbo people. But of course, in that country still is like a social structure of caste system and things like that. And this is just an overview. It's not going into too much detail about the war and the Civil War, but it plays a major part of why a lot of the Nigerians left or migrated out of Nigeria to, like I say, all parts of the world.
Oh, no, you don't. And politely asked them to rejoin the country. If by politely you mean violently, and by asked you mean forced. That's right. It was war, which Biafra lost. A devastating blockade.
So they basically starved the people, unfortunately. The Igbo people, and no one helped. And what I mean by no one, the British support them. They wanted their oil to keep flowing. Remember, this is up to 1970. So, and they still had coups through the 80s. But let's continue.
Having ensured the people of Biafra were starved into submission. Some 2 million people, many of them children, died from hunger. Unhappy at the nation's slow rate of improvement, the military staged a coup in 1975. A few years later, Shehu Shagari became the country's first democratically elected president. Perceived corruption in his government led to, you guessed it, another military coup, which was soon followed by, you guessed it, another military coup. The new government was even more corrupt than...
So, like, when these coups happened, and if you were like in the clique, sometimes you could have been killed. And then that which a lot of people were fleeing, so they did under the asylum. Um, in that aspect, a lot came to America. Now, Wendy never said this, and I mean, she's an '80s baby. I'm thinking, and Nephrim is definitely a '90s baby. And she came over a different way, but um, a lot of stuff is not discussed. They painted the picture, but we, like I said, we just want to set the foundation. We're not saying that Wendy and her mom and dad came over because of war, but we pretty much can speculate. And same thing with Naeem and her father.
and its predecessors. And thus there was, you guessed it, another military coup. Democracy finally returned with the 1999 elections. And in the years up to now, Nigeria has faced problems ranging from terrorist groups like Islamic State and Boko Haram to curbing human rights abuses and corruption.
Okay, we can stop there with that. Um, and we're gonna watch one more video. So, like I said, this is all alleged. I don't want to offend anyone, but we're gonna watch. Just this is gonna set the foundation. All right, it's gonna set the foundation, and this may be a little fit. Well, I didn't make the video, but they're giving just some insight. This is someone's opinion about Igbo people, and then we're gonna get into how all this alleged started on the show with Wendy and them. All right, so one more video. Just bear with me. You gotta set the scene up. Here we go. Let me stop that music.
Igbo land. I believe you have a lot to learn in this video. But before I get into this video, I want to use this opportunity to say Happy New Year to all of you, to all my subscribers, and everyone watching this video. May this year be fruitful and successful for all of us. So guys, let's get into this video. It is believed that the Igbos are the offspring of a man called Nri. After settling down, he got married and started having children and started possessing the land of the eastern part of Nigeria. Like I said at the beginning of this video, Igbos
Now this is just her words. This is not. I guess this is just oral history, and of course, she's not presenting any readings or anything like that. But um, let's continue.
possess a unique and special attributes. There's something very, very unique and special about the Igbos. You can only find Igbo tribe in Nigeria. Igbo or Igbo language or Igbo people can only be found in Nigeria.
Did you hear that? Evil people can only be found in Nigeria. She's going to explain why they only can be found in Nigeria. Like I said, I ain't doing no 10-year deep dive on this. Just, doing research on different videos, but we're just presenting this to the table. Evil people can only be found in Nigeria. So, like, say if you're in Liberia, they have a Vi group, but the Vi group kind of mixes in Liberia, and also mixes in when I mean mixes that they also have Vi people in Nigeria. So these are just some little things. But remember, Igbo people could only be found in Nigeria, based on what this woman is saying, right? So let's continue.
You can never find an Igbo person that originates from other part of the world. Unlike Yoruba and Hausa, where you can find another people who are not Nigeria who speak Yoruba or speak Hausa. Other than Nigeria, there's no other place where you can find Igbo language, people who are real Igbos or who speak Igbo language. This is one of the things that make Igbo special. Igbo is a
So it's the language that you can speak the language, of course, we learn the language, but they're saying that historically there's no other places that were speaking Igbo language that was found. And if you look at the title, it's just they were born to dominate and rule.
special tribe. Igbo people are special people. They possess a very special attribute, something that make them stand out among others. According to history, during slave trading, Igbo slaves were in high demand. According to many articles I read, white men were willing to pay a lot of money to get slaves from Igbo land. Before the white men came to Africa,
Let me just. Some people now are saying that there was slave trade. We're not denying that it was because we have documented proof and books and things like that. But some other people are saying that it was some black people here, and what they did was that during the census or and then a lot of the battles and stuff, like when they started really counting people, that they grouped everyone as colored. And so those people who may have been black Indians or black First Americans, of course, they probably traveled over from Africa, but they didn't come over as slaves. So I mean, that's a whole different discussion. They got YouTube video on that. I just want to point that out. Now, whether has there been any documentation to verify that, I haven't read it. All I've read is about the slave stuff. So let's continue. I mean, the slave stuff from Africa.
Igbo were the only tribe who were so very organized and very diplomatic in nature or democratic in nature. So this blew the minds of the white people. I guess that is the reason why they hate Igbo so much, because they see Igbo as a threat to their supremacy. One of the attributes of the Igbos is that they are so protective of themselves, of their culture, of their tribe, of their lineage, of their
Hmm. Like I said, we setting it up. All right, we setting it up for what this battle's about. That's gonna come on national TV. We just setting it up. All right. Like I said, I'm not going into much detail with this video. It's only a few more minutes.
gene. This is the reason why it took the white men a lot of effort to invade Igbo land. When the white men came to Nigeria, the Igbos gave them tough time. The Igbos fought for 31 years, resisting the white men from entering Igbo land. They got to possess Igbo land by converting a lot of Igbos into priests. Those are the people who get to the village and like be able to talk to them.
Okay, so as you know, a lot of people arguments that Christianity was the major factor in colonialism. So, I mean, this woman points that how that was done.
There are people in the tongue they understand before they submit themselves to the white men. Without this, the British wouldn't have access to Igbo. Another crazy way in which the Igbos shows how they protect their lineage or their Igbo blood is by Igbos not marrying another tribe. Like in Nigeria, Igbo is that tribe who cannot marry another tribe, who don't like getting married to another tribe in Nigeria. In Igbo, there is something they called Ezibonwa for Igbo. It is interpreted as a true son of the Igbo. So
Okay, so um, if you have not been watching, uh, we do this from a historical perspective. There's always some outsider coming in and causing conflict. So in this case, um, Ashley, when they presented a small clip, talked to Wendy about Osu. So Osu, okay. So we all got our, every country has their rules or whatever. Let's just cultural rules. Let's just say that, right? And this topic is so sensitive to Wendy, is that she sent Bug News over here a cease and desist years when she first got on, and we presented an article about Osu, uh, videos, and then some internet gossip, and she presented a cease and desist. She sent a cease and desist, so we took it down. Other people would cover anyway. So anyway, I'm telling you something. Anytime somebody send you a cease and desist, tell the world you got a cease and desist. Other people will cover the cease and desist. So it's irrelevant because they're going to wonder why you sent a cease and desist to some little $2 person. Why? You like it was like within a week or two that they sent that out, and no one people were picking it up, but then after the cease and desist, then people start talking about this Osu stuff. All right. I mean, they had been talking about it before. I'm just, on Lipstick Alley. and the whole thing with Eddie, Happy Eddie. But what we have, okay, so let's look at this allegedly based on these videos. Okay, they're saying that evil people only marry within them, would like to marry on with themselves. Let me tell you a secret. Um, if a mother is, and I'm gonna do a different country. Let's say, and that's what I heard. Say a mother is from Ghana. Her son comes over, and no, even better. We're gonna make the story better. A mother's from Ghana. The family, she marries a guy, a Ghana guy. They come over to America. They have kids, and she has a son. She don't want her son to marry no other woman but a woman from Ghana, because the mother feels that that woman from Ghana can take care of her son better as a man. All right, I might be wrong, but you can ask around. So if this person who presented this video, I mean, based on the accent, African voices, is saying even people are very protective over their culture and different things. So I think I got an example. If Wendy is Igbo, she was protective over her culture. She sent me that cease and desist. All right, that's a perfect example. So let's move on. So we know there's a caste system. So Nneka claims that she's rich, right? Did a video on Nneka. People said, I had inaccurate information, but they did say that Nneka's family had money back over over in Africa, and they did say, he came over with money. But remember, so he came over here. I think what he being Nneka's father, he came over here with a doctorate degree, doctor medical, and then I think he did an advanced degree. While he was over here. That takes money. I mean, that takes money. It's to some degree, or he was just super intelligent. I know some places where you are super intelligent, the whole machine gets behind you and pushes you in that direction. Um, Communists or non-communists. So Nneka, came over. He went over to mass first. Let's look at the path. If any people know, like, so this is around I guess the 80s, the 70s. We got to get out of here. Brain drain on Africa. So a lot of them just really didn't. They spread out, but a lot of them came to America, but they really didn't come to America. They mostly went to Europe because if you look at the map, Europe is very close. Cheap flight. Or if they did, if they did, they waited in Europe, went over. So they went over to Europe. They may have went over to, and a lot of people go to China and Asian countries and Southeast Asian countries too. So, or they went to other African countries. But in Nneka's case, her father came over here, Boston. I think she said that they murdered, somewhere down here in Maryland, Virginia. Then they went out to Wisconsin, where he probably got his residency. So if he's like a cardiologist, they make a very high salary on GP. Um, so Nneka grew up differently, and then maybe culturally, when I would say culturally, on another, I hate to use the word, another tier than Wendy. So whereas Wendy, who's very educated, and maybe Eddie was on another tier. I don't know, but they both well educated. We're not slighting them, but Nneka, says she grew up different lifestyle. Um, they they both have. Some people point out that they both have similar paths, and excuse me, they both have similar paths. Whereas both went to college, undergrad, and both went to lawyers, but Wendy didn't graduate. Nneka graduated. They both are commentators on news networks. App. I think she also does some other the lawyer. She does with tech companies. So she's always on the cuff of things and seems to work her way around in that technology field. I think Wendy May has written books. She does community things. I've seen her on some panels before. Just before Wendy was it was announced that she was on a show. She was on some panel in Baltimore, and she had on. I got the picture. She had on all Gucci, I think, and then the other reality, the person that was there that was reality star at the time was Cynthia Bailey, and then there was another Asian woman who was there who I didn't know it was, but she was even bigger than Cynthia Bailey. So, but she wasn't on the panel with Cynthia Bailey. Cynthia Bailey was on a whole different panel. But that was the first time I seen Wendy, and Wendy, um, like I said, it was just before it was announced. I wish, I wish I had known, you know. Uh, but hey, it is what it is. So now we get back to Ashley. We're gonna call Ashley the British Queen. Divide and conquer. You got two powerful women, and you go and they bring up the Osu. So Osu, like I said, is looked at as a caste system. So you can't if your bloodline has any Osu in it, because remember this Igbo tribe say they don't marry out. So somehow they got some way to check that stuff. So if your bloodline got any Osu in it, you can't marry that Igbo. You definitely cannot marry that Igbo person. I don't know about the other tribes, maybe Yoruba. And like I said, we speculated that both these women are Igbo. Um, so Ashley brought this up to Wendy. And Wendy, I don't know, we don't know yet, but I hope Wendy said, "Well, that's a Igbo people problem. Uh, you need to stay out of it." That's what I think Wendy should have said. But I don't know. I don't know if Wendy said that or she just got offended and bit into the fire. Um, and then that's when all the classism and uh, Nika's it's going to get interesting. I think I'm speculating. I can't prove. So that's when all the uh, classism and stuff like that is going to came into place. But for the most part, um, I'm hoping. Let me share this. I'm hoping. Where is it? I'm sorry. Uh, I'm hoping that Ashley. Maybe it doesn't get. Oh, where we go. Let's just do this. I'm hoping that um, Ashley, not Ashley, Wendy, shut it down and say, "Hey, that's evil people problems. Don't worry about it. I talk about with Nika that offline." But for a storyline, if you kind of see how I set this, picture up, set this, the Buffy War, this just was like for clickbait. I'm just be honest. But the picture, look at the picture. One side with the bandana and stuff like that. Is a breaking of force, but um, it is just my thought. Um, so, but I'm hoping, like I said, I'm just hoping that Ashley, um, not Ashley, that Wendy shut it down, and but I don't think she shut it down. I think she basically just played into it. She gotta get that Bravo check. You have to, especially after the Robin Gate or Robin date or the Warren date. Especially after that, I'm pretty sure. Um, oh, I see. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that. Oh boy. Um, I'm pretty sure that Wendy will, have some discussion about this because, like I said, she sent out the system deceased on this Osu topic. Um, she season, her first season, she kind of discussed it, but she didn't. I don't think she or recall her using the word Osu. Everybody on the internet was using the word Osu, I think, if I remember correctly. But she or someone, let's not say she, allegedly she, it could have been some people was like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with this writing because it wasn't a video, it was writing. I don't feel comfortable with this. Send, can we do something? And her husband had, well, we can send the cease and desist, or her publisher, whoever sends the cease and desist out. So I know this is a sensitive thing, and then for Ashley to bring it up, it uh and not someone else who may have been Igbo, at least from from Africa, to bring it up. Well, I mean, of course, how I don't know how somebody from Africa would be bring it up but I mean, it actually has many friends. So, and when they hear it on national TV, and they like, I got to go through this again, this time in more detail, this time with a person from my culture and my subculture, uh, to give their input on it. And in addition to that, this person may be well-to-do in both lands or whatever. I mean, allegedly. And then it's implication of Wendy's mother, um, which could be another video in all of itself from a historic professor. Wendy's mother practicing two religions, but when Christians came, a lot of stuff they had to change to get people to swallow the red pill. They put some Vaseline on it. All right, y'all can keep them Christmas cheese, or y'all can keep that. Yeah, okay, fine. Just do that, but do it at night. Y'all can meet over there. Don't meet over here by the church. Meet over there. You know. Uh, these are common practices wherever Europeans did colonialism and implemented their religion, even within Europe. So, like I said, that's a whole nother video, but it's going to come up. So, but a lot of it's stemming from allegedly Nneka's social position, allegedly. And it's a caste system in every country. In America, it's a caste system. It's just not the way it is in other countries, but we know it's a caste system. Some people might just say racism. Some people might say, where you live at, what school you went to, da da da, this, that. So I mean, it's casting. Um, or are you a Mason? Are you Delta? Or are you this? That's all this casting. So, of how people will receive you and things like that. Um, but we have to wait to when did this show come on? Sunday, Saturday, or Sunday, something like that. I missed it last time. Luckily, I guess it's like my program DVR. Um, so and we don't know if they're stringing us on. It might come on like this might not be the next episode. It could be four. You know how it works. 4 or 5 episodes down, they keep showing it. That's what we're looking for. And at least little by little, and we get to dive into this. I just wonder what will there be any pushback from people from Nigeria? Saying that we were presenting, not we, but Bravo was presenting stereotypes, and then Wendy and Nneka get some backlash. I don't know, but I know every time you talk about this subject, you talk about you get strange comments in your comment section, like out of the woodwork. People you don't think you watch it, but and I could tell you because I've been banned from Lipstick Alley, but someone said that a woman from Africa runs, and as I said something one time, and boy, I was banned so fast. So, like I said, this episode is a sensitive episode, not just to Wendy, but people who may be considered Osu. They're working over here, successful people. But when they get together, or in their and when I say they, I mean when Igbo or Nigerians get together, maybe they treat a little slightly way when they all together. Yeah, we can hang with him, but I can't marry her, or I can't marry him. He also, yeah. that aspect. So, or we don't know. You know, you be on the job and you come up. He'll mess with me. Oh, why? He really can't explain. He don't want to explain. He might not think you understand, but it's coming all to the forefront now. So, what do you think? Do you think it's just won't nothing's going to come about Ashley asking her about reading an article about Osu in reference to Wendy, and just be blown over? And this is the storyline friction between Wendy and Nneka, which is kind of effed up, but I mean, in my personal opinion. But hey, we know what it is, but it's just gotta like I said, you look at the videos and you know what I presented, and then now we got Queen Ashley right there. Oh, they over there talking, saying, you like down here, or something like that, and then Nika gonna reinforce the fact on that level, and then talk about Wendy's mom and her practices, which really shouldn't matter. I mean, that's why we all in America. You can do that. Hey, you can go to be a Catholic during the day, and you can practice your Igbo religion at night or during the day too. I think you know what I'm trying to say. That's why we all here. But the way it's being presented, being presented on the show is that if Wendy's mom is practicing two religions, it's a problem. Anyway, this is Bug News. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and thank you very much.